Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm bringing you guys a new video, and this time at least relatively on time. We're going to take a look at the steel will Tasso, I don't know, F12-01. So the Tasso, I don't know. There's a large version, a small version. This is the first one to be released. It is the large version. I don't know when the small one's going to be released. I don't know price on the small one. So we're just going to focus on this larger model here today. And eventually when that smaller one comes out, maybe I'll have a video on that one, maybe not. But the Tasso has the ant lock, which is something that steel will has had in development for years. It was teased, I want to say at least 2 years ago. It's been a long time in development. Rumor is the manufacturer was struggling to get it right, and they went through a lot of prototypes, and they wanted to make sure they brought it to market, 100% good to go. So if it took them 2 years, then so be it. Better late than wrong. So anyways, this is just going to be an overview. I do plan to upload a quick disassembly video next. I don't do those very often, but obviously with the ant lock, it is something new and interesting and does merit a disassembly video just to see how the inside works. So, other caveat, I've had this thing for weeks now. Just been waiting and waiting and waiting for that to get the go-ahead on uploading pictures and the video and so forth. And the reason I mention that is because this thing is now completely broken in, completely smooth. It was fairly tight initially, so when you pull yours out of box, whenever that is, which the release date is Blade Show 2019, it's not going to be as smooth as mine is here because it's not broken in yet. Just a heads up. Alright, so this is what it ships with, just a cardboard box, nothing terribly exciting. We'll move that out of the way. We're going to jump right into specs. We're going to pull out the usual suspects, which are, of course, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, as I bump the damn camera, and the Kershaw Dividend. Pretty much in line with the Para 2, blade length of 3.5 inches, overall just about 8 inches. It does weigh in 4.15 ounces on my scale. Fairly lightweight thanks to these G10 handles that do not have steel liners. They just use the strength of the G10, which I've got at least one custom slip joint that utilizes the same, so seems to work. Blade steel M390, ant lock of course, and let's take a look at the blade thickness in comparison with the Para 2 here. So blade stock is pretty dang close. The Para 2 comes in at, what is it, 0.145 inches? Yep. And the Tasso here comes in at 0.14 inches, so pretty freaking close. Thickness behind the edge I measured with calipers, coming in at 0.025 inches, which is the exact same as the Paramilitary 2. The Para 2 is a full flat grind, the Tasso is a flat grind, so pretty much the same blade stock thickness and same thickness behind the edge, so hopefully that gives you guys some indication of the slice ability of this knife. Alright, and let's move the Para 2 out of the way. Another size comparison, and one that seems to feel remarkably similar in terms of construction and some of the details on it, is the Moniogo Knife Makers Arvenis. Quite a few similarities between these two, so if I had to guess, produced by Fox Knives or Fox Cutlery out of Moniogo, Italy. I didn't verify with the maker. I don't really know if they're putting that information out there, but that is what I highly suspect. Another one, you guys will ask, how does it feel or how does it work in comparison with the Axis lock? Axis lock is a pullback action. You have kind of a constant spring pressure throughout, and then, assuming it's well tuned, this bad boy just kind of drops freely on its own, but it's a long straight back pull. The way this feels is you push back on it, so different movement. Instead of pulling down, it's a push back, and it's just kind of a click. Here you can see what I don't know, perhaps is some sort of lockback mechanism or modified lockback. It basically breaks that and releases the knife. So no, it's nothing like the access lock. It's completely different. And again, we'll spend some time on this in the disassembly video, but that gives you guys at least a brief idea of how this thing is working. So, yeah, just short pop click, action. It'll swing close. If I go completely off frame, I can get it completely closed. If I'm trying to keep it in frame, a lot harder to do. So, anyways, again, that's completely broken in. This one is a straight back pull. And again, if I'm not being mindful of where I'm at in the frame, they're both very, very smooth. The Benchmade Super Freak here is arguably a little bit smoother than this one, but again, different construction, different tolerances. All right, let's focus on this one a little bit more. So here's the satin buoy style blade, beautiful grinds. I think this is an outstanding looking blade profile. And again, with the thickness and the thickness behind the edge, it should work very well for almost all people. If the Para 2 works well for you, then you shouldn't have a problem with this one. Primary bevel, really nice clean edges. Grinds look really, really good, and the secondary bevel is really consistent throughout. So both rather impressive. I mean, honestly, the overall fit and finish on this thing is exceptional. Assuming it is Fox Cutlery, this is an example of their best work. So there's that beautiful, beautiful blade shape. The top of the spine has been crowned here, at least up to the front of the swedge. You can see it's crowned from here to here. Very nice detail. The jimping, although short, is very effective. Again, machining is outstanding. The thumb studs work very, very well. Let's try to get a close-up. As you can see, the thumb studs, kind of the pyramid shaped with plenty of texture. They work very well, very comfortable, so all very well done. Let's take a look at the sharpening notch. It's sharpened all the way up to the end here, and then again, as you can see, this part's rounded. There's not enough space for me to feel comfortable with the forward choil, and it's an unnecessary detail to crown this part of the blade, but it was done, and it's very nice. It's a nice detail. Alright, I think that's it for the blade. Let's take a look at the handles. Take a look at all of the chamfering. Pretty wide chamfers around the edges. G10, give it a very comfortable profile. No hot spots in my hand whatsoever. Orange G10 backspacer on this one. And I think there'll be more colors down the line. Again, I don't know the details on the colors. Ooh, we better talk about price before we get too far into it. So, again, Blade Show 2019 release. They're stating right now that these will only be sold through their website. They do not plan to send these to dealers. And the price will be $170 on their website. Sub 200 for all of this, with, again, assuming that the fit and finish is this good on all of them. Is a banging deal. I really think it's going to be possibly the best sub $200 knife this year. We still have a lot of time in 2019, so we'll see, but it is a smoking deal. And assuming they're not going through dealers, you know, again, a lot of that overhead is being passed on to us as consumers, so yeah, it's a pretty smoking deal. Again, sample size of 1. I can't guarantee that all of yours are going to be as perfect as this one, but if they are, it's a banging deal. All right. Again, we talked about the smaller version that'll be made at some point. And yeah. All right. So moving back here. Again, maybe more colors later. We've got a lanyard pin at the back. The pocket clip, it's a spring clip. It works very well. It does not dig into my hand at all. Plenty of clearance for the pocket. It is pretty strong, so you've got a lot of tension, but I've had no problem getting it in and out of jeans. Plenty of gap. 2-screw construction, which I really like because it makes this grabbing this thing and getting it out of pocket pretty good. Obviously you can see this is where it's going to sit. That orange may attract some attention. I mean, that's your call. It hasn't bothered me in the slightest. Centering is perfect. And well, there's no lockup because it's the ant lock here, so yeah, I assume it's good. Alright, so I think that's it. Ergonomically, very, very comfortable with this first finger choil here. The point of balance is also at this first finger choil, which I can show you guys if I'm not on the camera, but I can't. So just take my word for it, it's well balanced. It's very comfortable in the hand. Very, very comfortable. So, and then the flare here at the pommel does lock it into the hand pretty well. So there is that. And I think that's pretty much it for this one. So hopefully that gave you guys kind of a good idea what to expect. Again, Blade Show's about 10 days away, so look forward to this possibly going live on their website, which I will link in the description box below. And you can follow me on Instagram for more daily content. That'll also be down in the description box below. So thanks so much for watching, guys. More videos to come. A lot more as we kind of wind up for Blade Show here. Take care.